At this point, Breath of the Wild videos are everywhere. You can find a video about almost anything to do with the game, just by typing in its name. Theories, discussions, let's plays, the entire lot. And it's quite amazing to see just how much love this game has received. I mean, who can blame the fans when the game includes content like this? Yeah, if that doesn't sell you on Breath of the Wild, then I honestly don't know what will. Aside from that, the game changed the way Zelda games are traditionally played, and various quotes and hints from the team behind the game suggest that this will be how Zelda games are played from now on. That got me thinking, has this recent change potentially set up a future for The Legend of Zelda that no other past game could even manage to set up? Well, I believe Breath of the Wild has done exactly that, and I'm going to explain why I believe this game has set up the best future imaginable for a game franchise in a very long time. Now, we could sit here for 2 or 3 minutes rambling on about how good a game Breath of the Wild was, and what it did right, what it did wrong, and all of that nonsense. But today, let's just get right into the video. If you've been a fan of the Zelda series for a while, you will know, or at least have noticed, that every game followed a linear story. Some had a little bit of freedom, but in the end, they were all linear. Breath of the Wild changed this drastically. Due to Breath of the Wild changing it so much, it's also going to have an effect on every single future installment to the series. From the next 4, 5 or 6 games to how we play each one of those games. And this couldn't possibly be a better future for the Zelda series. Not just for Nintendo selling copies of the game, but also the fans, us, enjoying the game to the max. Breath of the Wild has set up one of the brightest futures for a video game series since what? Ocarina of Time? Grand Theft Auto 4? Well, I believe it's setting up the Zelda series for a better future than both of those games did for their own franchises. Yes, I know, Ocarina of Time is a Zelda game, just let me make my point. Now, there is 2 main parts to this. How it sets up changing the way we play the games, along with how it's setting up the future of the Zelda series for huge success. Let's talk about how it sets up the future of the Zelda series really well first. Now, there is all sorts of reasons for this. The most notable one to me would be the amount of creativity available to the developers going into future games. When Zelda still followed a linear story, there would come restrictions of what can be in the game and what has to sadly be cut. However, as we saw in Breath of the Wild, the limits the Zelda team were usually restricted to were just gone. There was so much content in this game that you wouldn't imagine ever finding in a Zelda game. In technicalities, there was 120 mini-dungeons, 4 main dungeons, 900 collectible things, a huge inventory, over 70 side quests, and one of the largest overworlds gaming has ever seen. And there was a lot of smaller features included too. Jeez. Either way, Breath of the Wild has opened up so many creative possibilities for the games to come. Nintendo were pretty famous for using scrapped ideas from one game in the next game or two, and we know Breath of the Wild has its fair share of scrapped ideas. Oh yes it does. One of which was underwater explorability. Adding that alone to one of the next games would be an absolute game changer. There could be underwater shrines, towns, cities, and of course a water temple. There was even originally an underwater divine beast in the concept phase, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see this or something along the lines within the next few games. Although they might want to keep the original Guardian ideas scrapped. Please Nintendo, please. Also, us, the fans, love the new open world style. And no, of course I'm not talking for everyone, but going off the majority of opinions, it's fair to say lots of people love the open world style, and now prefer it for Zelda. So it would only make sense anyway for Nintendo to do it again and again. Also, from a sales perspective, it would be smart business to keeping it open world for the future. I mean, it didn't take long at all for it to become the top selling Zelda game, so surely the open world style played a small part in that. Breath of the Wild has set up endless creative opportunities, the chance to top itself by adding more, and potentially topping its own sales. That's one hell of a possible future this game has already set up. Now, the next game itself. What comes after Breath of the Wild, and where does it fit in the timeline? Oh no, I don't want to go into the Zelda timeline. Let's try and stay away from that. Well, from thinking on this myself and asking other Zelda fans, the most popular idea for the next game seemed to be between a pre-Breath of the Wild game and a post-Breath of the Wild game. Pretty much, it's split between continue the game's story or play the backstory to the game. So the way Breath of the Wild left off already creates two huge options to go for. I believe no matter which option they go for, if it was to be one of these two, they would sell roughly around the same. Now personally, I'd love to continue the story, but with a little bit of a twist. I'd love to see the game start with Hyrule already rebuilt following Link and Zelda's victory over Calamity Ganon at the end of Breath of the Wild, making the backstory just Hyrule getting rebuilt so we don't really miss out on anything too major, whilst learning the backstory to the game. The story of the game would be either the return of Ganon, Calamity Ganon, Ganondorf, whichever form the evil returns in next time, or just a completely new threat altogether. Essentially, just the usual attack on Hyrule by some form of evil, and Link and Zelda go and save the day. Moving on. The main point here is that because the way Breath of the Wild told its backstory and ended its own story resulted in setting up two really good opportunities for either a prequel or sequel to itself. Overall, Breath of the Wild has set up one of the brightest futures imaginable for itself. The Zelda series has been redesigned. It still feels like a Zelda game, but has changed so much about them, creating this amazing future for the series. Well, what do you think? Be sure to let me know in the comments what you think about this. Has Breath of the Wild set up an amazing future to look forward to for the Zelda series? Despite what I believe, or what you may believe, in the end, only time will tell. Be sure to join our Discord server through the link below, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.